Hi there, this is Gerard Walbrock, and you're tuned in to Tiger Talk. We're going to talk some women's basketball with head coach Tony Hobson and men's hoops with Mark Johnson. It's all coming up right after this on Tiger Talk.
At Eagle Communications, we're proud to provide the communications services you need to get the most from today's technology. Our employee owners make it happen. We're part of your community, and we take pride in delivering excellent customer service. If you ever have a question, give us a call. We're here to help. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Tiger Talk. Gerard Walbrock with you for the next 30 or so minutes as we talk Fort Hays State basketball. The Tiger men, one win over Central Christian last week. The women, a couple of hard-fought victories over St. Cloud State and Regis. We'll talk all about it when the program continues. It's brought to you again this week by the Golden Corral Buffet and Grill, just north of the interstate in Hays. Head women's coach Tony Hobson joins us next. This is Tiger Talk. Welcome back to Tiger Talk, presented by the Golden Corral Buffet and Grill, just north of the interstate in Hays. Gerard Walbrock joined now by head women's basketball coach Tony Hobson. The Tigers off to a 4-0 start after a couple of really hard-fought victories over the weekend at the Coliseum. Friday night beat St. Cloud State, and then Saturday held off a late rally to beat Regis by 4. And I guess congratulations on the win. Didn't shoot it particularly well, but your gals played really, really hard. And I guess bottom line, you got 2 victories, and that was the goal going into the weekend.
Well, that's always what we try to do, and sometimes you just have to do it in different ways. And we're really struggling shooting the ball from the field, and not necessarily just the 3-point line, but we're struggling finishing around the basket. We're missing some close-in shots. Some of them are contested, some of them aren't, but we need to really get better at that. I mean, there's no reason to miss that many of them. Some of the kids are going at a faster pace in the game than they do in practice, so that's what we've been trying to emphasize is in practice we need to make sure we're going full tilt so they aren't strange shots in the games. But hopefully we will improve on that a little bit and maintain our defensive intensity while we're at it, and maybe have an easier time of it at some point.
I really thought Friday's win over a St. Cloud State, who I thought played well and has a nice little ball club there. They gave you some size mismatch problems. You shot it really poor, 23%, yet defense was phenomenal. You held your own on the glass. I thought it was a really nice win to get the weekend started on Friday.
Well, it was, and I think when the smoke clears, they're going to probably be a 18 to 20 win team, probably be in the top 3 or 4 of their conference. I thought they were very well prepared for us, and they took away 2 or 3 things that we like to do, especially when we spread it out and try to run the dribble drive. They played off of us a little bit, and they were tall enough we couldn't really shoot over them. So they caused us some issues, and that was one reason why we shot so poorly. Was inside, everything was really contested. On the other hand, I thought we did an excellent job of guarding them. We forced 23 turnovers, which I think is probably going to be pretty high for that team. And that's the only way we won that game, was turning them over and 14 offensive rebounds compared to their 6. Of course, when you shoot 23%, you've got a lot of opportunities for those offensive rebounds. So when 3 out of 4 of them are missing, you need to have everybody going to the board. So but that helps. When you get 14 opportunities, you can basically take 14 of those shots off, and in effect, you're probably shooting more like 40 or 45% because you got another opportunity. So, and that's what I told them. And sarcasm sometimes is lost on people, but when you say, hey, we're missing every shot we take, so it's a good chance to get an offensive rebound, I think that resonated with them fairly well.
It's all about perspective sometimes. Jill Faxon, a nice game. First career double-double. She also fouled out for the first time in her Tiger career, which made it a little bit interesting down the stretch without her on the floor. But, man, obviously shot the ball well, but her rebounding and her defense, as good as it had been, she was really, really on Friday.
Jill's been playing well, really all preseason and all year, but it was especially evident against a team with that size. She came in there and got some rebounds that were very impressive over the top of their big kids, and hit some timely shots, 5 for 9 from the three, and we really needed her. Jill plays with a tremendous amount of energy. She's got a great motor, a big guard that is very athletic, and hopefully she just keeps playing like that, because we're going to have her, and she's kind of that person right now that we're looking to get the shot at the end of the clock and to hit the big one, and I think she's entirely capable of doing that for us.
And then on Saturday against a good Regis squad, looked like you about had them on the brink, up 14 midway through that third quarter, but kind of let them off the hook. They made it interesting. They got right there. They got within one at one point, but you made enough plays and really big, 6 for 6 from the free throw line in that final minute.
I thought there when we were up 44-30, I believe, maybe halfway through the third quarter, I thought we about had them ready to go. Maybe a possession or two where if we could have got out on them, 16 or 18, I think the game would have been over. But they had other ideas. They hit 2 or 3 very difficult three-pointers down the stretch to kind of keep the game close, and we would make free throws, and they'd come down and hit and I know the kid that hit them is a good three-point shooter, but they were very, very far out and tough shots. But we were able to kind of, withstand the heat, and it was nice to see us make some clutch free throws from Taylor Chandler, who struggled at the line. That's been 2 years now. She didn't play at all last year, and one thing you can do when you're recovering from an ACL injury is shoot free throws, and she's vastly improved her free throw shooting in all of our charts that we keep. We shoot, outside of practice, we shoot 500 a week, and we chart them, and she's shooting about 81% when you shoot them that way. Now, that probably doesn't translate to 81% in games, but it should be in the 70s somewhere. So was happy to see that, and then Beth hit a couple. I thought Ellie Stein probably had her best game as a Tiger to date, and played 22 or 3 minutes, had 9 points, and she made a couple big plays down the stretch that were really important to that victory.
Yeah, drew a couple charges like she does as well as anybody, and helped Fort Hays State to the victory. So the Tigers off to a 4-0 start. A couple of home games this week, getting set for conference play, which is just around the corner. Tuesday night, the Newman University Jets, who are off to a good start, and then Sterling College on Saturday. We'll talk all about that when we return. Tiger Talk presented by the Golden Corral Buffet and Grill, open 7 days a week just north of the interstate in Hays. And for a limited time, you can enjoy their Meat Lovers Spectacular Dinner Buffet, steak, jumbo shrimp, bone-in catfish, and carved spare ribs. It's everything you like, as much as you like, for one low price at the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. Back with more with Coach Tony Hobson right after this. This is Tiger Talk.
They're growing up and getting busier. Between school, sports, dance, sleepovers, you want to make sure they can always reach you when they need to. Nextech Wireless has the perfect cell phone starter plan. For only $40 per month, it includes unlimited data, calling, and texting. There are no contracts or overages, so they can call, text, YouTube, and stream all they want. Plus, smartphones start at just $150. Certain restrictions apply. Get the $40 WOW unlimited plan at Nextech Wireless.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Walbrock, head women's coach Tony Hobson, as Fort Hays State is off to a 4-0 start. A couple of more non-conference games this week. Tuesday night, Newman. Saturday evening, Sterling College. And then it's on to MIAA play, believe it or not. Your team obviously lacking a little bit of size right now. A couple of injuries to your front line. Any update on the status of where those two stand at this point?
Well, I know we won't have them this week, either one of them for sure. Then it'll just, it'll be evaluated probably next Monday and see what's going on there. I don't anticipate having either one of them back for at least 2 weeks, but you never know. Kids heal faster than we do, and sometimes they will surprise you. But right now we're planning on playing without them for a couple more weeks at least.
Let's put a lot of pressure on a player like a Paige Lunsford. You got her at the 5 down. I know she's really battling it and holding her own, but obviously a big challenge for her.
Well, it is, and I think it's taken away from her offense a little bit. It's hard work to guard somebody that has you outsized and heavier than you, and it's basically kind of a wrestling match in there a lot of times. We're asking her to try to get around in front and not even let it come in there, and so she's doing an excellent job of that. And I just think she's playing at a high level defensively, and I think it's bothering her outside shot a little bit. I think she's a little tired and just out of her element, so to speak. So, but I really like what she's doing. We're asking Jill to play the 4, which is probably less of a stretch for her, but it's still a little bit different. And all of our guards are trying, they're trying to post up our guards, and that's okay, because usually when people do that, when they're not accustomed to it, it really messes them up more than it does us. You saw St. Cloud do it first play of the game. They rolled Nikki in the post and they scored. But really after that, I don't remember them really taking advantage of it again. So our guards have kind of taken the challenge to not get scored on in there, and also to contribute to the rebounding efforts, which we're going to have.
All right, Tuesday, Newman University off to a 3-1 start. Their best under Coach Darren Spence. They went out to Colorado and had a big win over Regis. They played Washburn really tough. Obviously, maybe one of the better Newman teams you're going to face here on Tuesday night.
Well, the best one we've seen for some time, I would say. A team we struggled with Saturday, Regis. They were about, I don't know, midway through the third quarter out there, they were about tied, but then Newman really pulled away from them at the end, beat them by 18, 19 points. So obviously a good effort out there by them, and I know the Washburn game was a hard fought. Clear through the whole game. I think it ended up a 10-point margin. So you're gonna see a good team. They play good defense. They're very physical. They've got a pretty explosive point guard, which should be good matchups with our point guard. They have one outstanding 3-point shooter. So they have a little mix of everything. They've got 2 kids inside that are solid players and big, strong kids. So it'll be a tough game for us. Don't know if we really need another tough game, but we better be ready for one, because that's what we're going to have, and hopefully we'll be able to play better than we have been, but we will see what happens on Tuesday.
Yep, should be a lot of fun as Newman comes to town Saturday, Sterling College. Hard to believe your final 2 tune-ups before MIAA play next week. It comes quick every year, but it seems exceptionally fast this season.
Well, it's just weird to think that in 10 days we're going to be playing Washburn here, and in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, 12 days, Emporia here. But we have to, put that on the back burner for right now and try to use this game Tuesday not only as a test, but just as a way to improve and get ready to play those teams. I don't think Newman's as good as Emporia, and they're obviously not quite as good as Washburn, but that was in Topeka. But I'll tell you, they're a team that will definitely be able to beat you if you aren't at your best.
Should be a fun week of basketball Tuesday night and Saturday night as the Tiger women take on Newman and Sterling. Coach, as always, we appreciate the time, and we'll see you at the Coliseum this week.
Okay, thanks, Gerard.
That's head coach Tony Hobson of the Fort Hays State women off to a 4-0 start. We're going to take a break. We'll shift gears and talk some men's basketball as head coach Mark Johnson joins us right after this on Tiger Talk.
BOS Motorsports in Hayes introduces the top off-road vehicle lineup with Polaris. The world leader in off-road innovation presents the RZR, Ranger, Sportsman, and Ace off-road vehicles right here in the heartland of BOS Motorsports in Hayes. Whether you're looking for something for the trail, the farm, the oil patch, the hunt, BOS has the ride just for you. Stop in today and ride away with yours. At BOS, customer service is number 1. Our in-house parts and service department will take care of you before, during, and after the sale. BOS Motorsports just north of I-70 at exit 159 in Hayes.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk. Gerard Walbrock, head men's basketball coach Mark Johnson now is Fort Hays State. Gears up for a couple of games this week. Newman University on Tuesday, Sterling College on Saturday. Their final tune-ups as well before the start of MIAA play next week. Tigers had one game last week, Central Christian College on Wednesday night, and got a nice victory. And I thought in that game, coming off the two games to start the season in the Classic, that your guys took care of business against an opponent that certainly can be a challenge. And I thought they didn't. They played the game hard, kind of like you said before the game. Play the game the way it's supposed to be, and I thought you guys did that.
Yeah, I mean, always concerned. You're playing I think it was our third game in 5 days. Playing an NAI opponent. So a little concerned how your team would come out and respond. And thought for the most part we did well. Obviously offensively we played very well. They had a hard time with Dom being able to handle his penetration. And I think a lot of teams hopefully are going to have that same kind of problems. And then defensively, I thought we did okay. They had a couple guys, 2 or 3 guys that could really have the potential to put up some numbers if you didn't play well. So overall, good performance, and got out of it, I think, what we needed to get out of it.
Talk about Dom a little bit. I don't know if it's just because he's a senior, but he seems like a little bit different player, being more aggressive, going to the hole and finishing. He would go to the hole last year, but wouldn't always finish strong. He seems to be finishing much, much stronger now.
Yeah, I think that he's a unique player. There's not a lot of 6'8", 6'9" guys at our level that can drive it like that. There's a lot that can play back to the basket. There's even a lot at our level that can step away and shoot a three-point shot. But he's one of the very few that can really drive it against other big guys. So he's a matchup problem. And I think, he's kind of playing with that sense of urgency. It's his senior year. I think anytime you transfer in like he did a year ago, there's a comfort level you got to find. And I think he's very confident in himself right now. And he's finding his shots. That was probably the biggest thing last year. He would just kind of float around offensively, and if we didn't call the set for him, he really didn't find a shot. I think this year he's just being aggressive and really finding the opportunities for him to score.
It seems like if he can get that perimeter shot to go, it puts a defender in a really tough spot. You go out, try to defend on the perimeter, give him room to drive, really makes it difficult, which seems to be an advantage for him.
Yeah, I think as we get into conference play, people more familiarity, there's going to be more scouting. I think a lot of people are going to say, hey, make him hit the jump shot first before you let him attack you off the bounce. So, yeah, it's something he's got to continually work on. At times he's inconsistent with that, but when he's making his shot, he's very challenging to guard, that's for sure.
How about some of the young guys so far this year? Their third game, as you said, 3 games in 5 days, and for some of these freshmen, kind of a new experience. Are they handling it okay?
Yeah, I think so. I think Kyler's done well. I think even though Hadley's a sophomore, he's getting freshman, minutes, and as far as he didn't really play at all last year. And then I think it was good for Trey. I think Trey went 2 for 2 from 3. I think he's been a little hesitant offensively and probably being not aggressive enough. And hopefully that kind of gives him a little more confidence, because we're going to need our bench to score more than what they're doing right now. We're going to need a bigger pop, I think, off the bench. Especially you play Newman, this is the pace of the game. We're going to have to go into our bench a little deeper than we probably did the first couple games, and we need those guys to be able to give us some type of offense.
Yeah, Tigers take on the Newman Jets on Tuesday, a very good Newman team, and we'll talk about that and more when we return. Tiger Talk presented by the Golden Corral Buffet and Grill, where you can enjoy the sunrise breakfast starting at 7:30 on Saturdays and Sundays. It's the Golden Corral, best buffet in the USA. More Tiger Talk with head men's coach Mark Johnson right after this.
At Eagle Communications, we're proud to provide the communication services you need to get the most from today's technology. Our employee owners make it happen. We're part of your community, and we take pride in delivering excellent customer service. If you ever have a question, give us a call. We're here to help. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back. It's our final segment here on Tiger Talk. Gerard Walbrock, head men's basketball coach Mark Johnson. Fort Hays State off to a 3-0 start, trying to keep it rolling this week. Newman University coming up Tuesday, and then Sterling College on Saturday. Final 2 tune-ups for the Tigers before they open up MIAA play. And before we talk about Newman, I've talked a lot about the youth coming off the bench. You're getting more comfortable with your rotation, who's coming off the bench and when, and different combinations on the floor. Is that kind of an ongoing process that's going to happen for a little bit yet?
Probably an ongoing process. I think our front court, our bigs, we feel comfortable with what we're doing. We really like our front line. I think we got some physicality there, some toughness, and some skill sets. So up front, I think we're comfortable with what we're doing. I think the backcourt, we're still trying to find ourselves. It's a challenge at times when your whole bench is freshmen for the most part off in the backcourt. So when you're bringing all freshmen, having them play together at once, so we're trying to figure out how to keep some experience out there with them. So I think that's still a work in progress. But I think as time goes on and they get more comfortable being out there, I think hopefully that'll make a difference for us.
We talked last week about some of the changes in men's college basketball, how the game's being called. It appears your team and at least your first games that you've played in, everybody's adjusted pretty well. We've seen some of the games that are free throw fests and last forever. Haven't sensed that as much with your team. You feel they've adjusted to how it's being called now?
Well, I hope so. We have been fortunate. We haven't really got into that foul trouble. That's go back to Dom. One of his biggest things, he hasn't been in foul trouble yet, and that needs to continue. So hopefully our guys can adjust to how we're guarding or how they're calling the game and not get beat at the foul line. Because I think at times over the years that's been a little bit of a trouble for us. We're probably not quite as athletic as we've been in the past, so we can't really get after them as much, so that probably plays a little bit into it too. But again, our guys are doing a good job adjusting to how they want to call it.
All right, next up, Newman University Tuesday night, a good Jet team that really took it to Pittsburgh State on their home floor in Wichita, a game that probably wasn't as close as that final 9-point margin. These guys are pretty darn good.
Yeah, I would say their starting five I would imagine, would be as good as any starting five we face all year. Now, off the bench, they probably don't have quite the depth up front that they would like or that we have. But as far as that first group, very athletic, shoot it from all positions. They're big guys, again, typical Newman guys. I mean, they shoot threes, they drive it, which is a challenge for our big guys. Play at an ultra-fast tempo. We got to get back in transition. We got to make it more of an organized half-court type of game. We do that, I think we'll give ourselves an opportunity to win the game. If we get caught up in their style and make it a loose, free-flowing game and just come down and play quick, now that's going to play into their favor.
And, boy, you look at this game, kind of a who's who among Wichita basketball with a lot of the transfers from Wichita that have come back to finish up at home. Some of the Wichita guys they had, and Craig and some of the guys you have on your roster. It's kind of a who's who out there on Tuesday.
Yeah, Craig played AAU basketball with, Jalen Love and Gavin Thurman. Jalen started at University of Denver for 3 straight years. Gavin Thurman started last year at Missouri State in the Missouri Valley. So, talented group of guys. Like I said, we're going to have to go out there and out physical them and make it like I said, a slower pace game.
And then Sterling on Saturday, and hard to believe that's your final tune-up before MIAA play. We talked with Coach Hobson a little bit ago. It seems to get here quick every year, but it seems even faster for some reason this season.
Yeah, it really does. Well, we've gone up to 22 games. We're playing 3 more conference games. It's awfully early to feel like to be playing conference season. You look at the Big 12 teams; they don't really start till a whole nother month later, and a month is a long, long time. But we got to be ready to go. No different than our opponents. So. Hopefully this week will be a big week for us. We'll have some success, and we'll keep improving in the areas we need to improve in.
All right, sounds good. Should be a lot of fun. Coach, as always, good luck. We'll see you at the Coliseum this week.
All right, thank you.
That is head coach Mark Johnson of the Fort Hays State Tigers. Again, men's and women's doubleheader on Tuesday, first of the year with Newman, 5:30 and 7:30, and then again on Saturday with the Sterling College Warriors. That's going to wrap up the program. Brought to you again by the Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, the Taco Shop, G&L Tire and Automotive, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, Adams, Brown, Barron and Ball, Couture for Men and Women, and Eagle Communications. Again, if you missed any portion of the program, you can always catch it online, hayespost.com, or the video replay on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614, Tuesday and Wednesday mornings at 10:30, and then again Tuesday and Wednesday evenings at 7. For coaches Tony Hobson and Mark Johnson, this is Gerard Weilbrock. So long, everyone.
Around here, we believe in local values like hard work, family time, or a fair price on reliable internet from a local company. That's why Eagle Communications delivers great local values, like a range of internet options to fit your family's needs. Fast and consistent enough to power everyone's devices at once. All at reasonable prices we're proud to offer our friends and neighbors. Ready for better internet? Give us a call or visit eaglecom.net and discover our local values today.
Thanks for watching Tiger Talk. If you missed any portion of it, you can always catch the audio replay from Tiger Radio Mix 103 or the video replay at HaysPost.com. We'll see you next time right here on Tiger Talk.